Hi, my name is Raymond. I'm 47 years old. I've been carnivore since September 15th, 2017. Uh, I used to weigh 252 pounds. I was pre-diabetic at an A1C of 6.0. My whole story started back when I was diagnosed with A1C of 6.0. I started researching and I found Diet Doctor, went keto, did keto for a year on and off. It was very difficult for me to stay on keto. I always went back to the sugar glut, and I found out I'm a sugar addict and a food addict because I used to have binges also. So then, meanwhile I was doing keto, I, I found out that, I wanted to see if there was a way, because I didn't like the vegetables that was offered for keto. I like the bready stuff, the starchy stuff, the sugary stuff, but I didn't like the greens. So I wanted to find out if there was a way to, if there were people that could live just on meat. So I started researching that and stumbled to zeroing in on health and certain websites, Zero Carb Zen, and started researching a lot about that. So my second trial, so I did the first 6 weeks trial on keto, and I lost a lot of weight. Well, low carb, high fat, lost a lot of weight for that first 6 weeks. So I was like, I knew there was something there. And then I went ahead and did another 6 week trial of zero carb, just to see what would happen, and it was great. The only thing is, at the end of that 6 week, I got the carnivore keto flu, keto carnivore flu. So I stopped. I stopped for a while, and then I went ahead and took a lull, stayed low carb-ish, under 50 grams, but still low carb-ish. Still felt okay, but not great. I started playing with intermittent fasting during that time. And then September 15th, 2017, Sean Baker, Dr. Baker went ahead and put out a note saying that he wanted to do an experiment for a bunch of people to go ahead and get on the carnivore diet and log everything. So I went ahead and I was like, all right, I'm doing it. I missed the August 15th one, but he did one other one for September 15th. So I was like, all right, I'm doing it again. So I did it, logged everything in, took pictures, everything. And by then, I kind of had like a little two-pack going on. So, I was like, I was okay with that. And that showed up with intermittent fasting. By the end of 3 months on carnivore, I had a six-pack. It looked great. I felt the best I've ever felt. I was hitting a lot of personal records, and it was fantastic. Now, after my first year, I used to have a lot of problems, and I've mentioned that in Meat Heals. I have diverticulitis. This is self-diagnosis because what would happen is when I would go to the bathroom, it would feel like something would get stuck somewhere, and it just wouldn't come out, and I would have these bouts of dizziness, pain, extreme pain, like laboring type pain. So it would go up and down, up and down. I would have bloody stool. That was my worst symptoms. I also had symptoms on my foot. My foot was, I had plantar fasciitis, heel spurs, and we're talking about extreme pain whenever I even started working out. All those were gone. After the first year, everything, every ailment that I've had was gone. The only thing that I have still is maybe a tiny bit of dandruff and occasional acne. But these are because when I go out to eat, they usually have different sauces, whether on barbecue sauce or whatnot, and that'll make me have acne. I started playing with fasting more often because I noticed when I was eating meat, well, I would not be as hungry. And so I automatically went into a fasting mode. And at the beginning of this year, I just said, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and do an alternate day fast. And I started cutting up really good then. Felt even better than I've ever felt before. I am at the point now, I feel like I am thriving, not just healing. So the reason I say this is because my health is very different. I can almost do a full split. Meanwhile, before, my flexibility was horrible. I couldn't even stand on one leg without toppling over. Now I can stand on one leg for, 5 minutes if I wanted to. So the other thing is I can run a 7 minute mile, which is incredible for a guy who, for me, tying my shoelace, I would come up and I'd see stars. Also, just to be clear, I only work out at 30% pace. So my workouts, I've always said this in my head. I wanted to keep working out for a long, long time. So I only work out at a 30% pace. So doing that 7 minute mile, I think it's really good. I've actually done a 3 mile at 25 minutes. And I know I can do it much faster. I can do all these much faster. I can do a 50 consecutive push up. This is without even trying. Um, it's just what I can do now is just so much more than I've ever been able to do. So I attribute that to the health of the carnivore, of course. Fasting is just complementary to it. Right now I fast anywhere between 32 to 36 hours every other day eating, and once a week I would do a 60-hour fast, just a longer fast. I enjoy the fast. They're getting a little more difficult the more weight I've lost, but they're still very pleasant. I love the feeling after a fast. But this is my story. I wanted to share with you guys my carnivore story, and hopefully you'll hear from me again. Thank you.